Mediation is a magical process for me. When I am in the middle of a mediation, I can't tell you how many times I have thought, this is impossible. There is no conceivable way these people are going to be able to find a resolution to this conflict. And we keep going through the steps of watching people begin to actively listen to each other and start to mirror our own behavior and so on. And one side or the other might go, you know, I could, and they'll come up with one little thing that they might be able to do, and it starts a cascade of discussion that eventually ends up in some kind of a resolution. And I've watched that happen so many times, and it convinces me of the value of active listening, which I think is the center of mediation. Victor Herbert contributes an enormous amount to BDRS. To start with, he was a founder, so if it were not for Victor Herbert and other far-sighted people, we wouldn't have seeds today. He has, from the beginning, taken an active interest in zoning mediation and has run most of the zoning mediations. They are among the most contentious cases that not only come before seeds, but that come before city council. A lot of them will go on, and the feelings are very, very strong. Certainly in Berkeley today, land use issues are becoming the central topic. Victor has probably mediated hundreds of those cases since 1988, taking what were groups of individuals with enormously different perspectives on what should be developed in a particular area, and often, not always, but often working through some kind of a resolution of that conflict.
He's just as excited about it now, I think, as he was, whatever it was, 24 years ago. Because I was talking to him and Harriet this week, and the night before last, they were both up till 1 o'clock at a zoning adjustment board hearing. So, like, they're not only still here, but they're like totally alive with it.
One thing that I think everybody should really admire about Sandy is she, as an African-American woman, has the most wonderful way of expressing her ethnic identity. I remember she wanted our training committee to be a little more culturally competent. Instead of lecturing us, she introduced us to a friend of hers named Jan Faulkner, who's now passed, who showed us Jan's films about all the kind of dolls and other things that exhibited these absolutely terrible racial stereotypes. It was a wonderful way to do it. It was a way to express her identity, and at the same time was a way that became an enjoyable experience for the rest of us.
I see Sandy as bringing to the work of mediation the spirit of collaboration and dialogue, the spirit of listening to others, respecting other views that are different from our own, the values of nonviolence, of justice, of respect. These are some of the central values that I've observed in my work with Sandy.
Michael has been there for both organizations nonstop since the time I've known him, since the time he's been involved in those organizations. Every committee you can think of, training, outreach, facilitation, he's just very passionate about the work, very committed. He really is there to take care of the parties in a mediation. He really is trying to figure out what they need and how they can be comfortable in the environment and that their needs are met. So I've really seen that as a huge value. And that also is carried over in trainings that he's done.
And I think Michael, as a trainer, probably recognized this guy's struggle and wanted to make it either safer for him or by disclosing something else himself to make it better. And I've seen that a lot. When one person goes deeper, then often the other person will feel comfortable going deeper. So he talked about something that was very personal and very difficult for him. And so I really saw him kind of putting himself on the line to help this guy feel better and to maybe create a safe space, that this wasn't going to be the only person who was disclosing.
If it wasn't for Sharon Luther and another person named Faye Hahn, there would have been no mediation services. The two of them went and took classes on mediation, and then they started mediation services. Sharon brings a lot to the table when she comes into mediation. Sharon brings a lot of integrity. She also brings in a unique way of listening to people. She seems to be able to peel away the layers of an answer that somebody has. When she asks a question and they come up with an answer, she starts peeling away just like you would an orange. She lets the people know that she really is truly interested in why they are there, and she's interested in helping them get to resolution. The impact on the community that Sharon has had has been tremendous. Mediation Services was involved with many police departments. Whatever it was that was the problem with the next door neighbors or the people across the street, the police departments were able to refer those people to mediation services. So I would say the impact the mediation services and Sharon Luther had on these communities was huge.
Barbara Litwin has contributed an incredible amount to the field of community mediation. She was there at the early stages of conciliation forums of Oakland. She really was a part of a core group in those earlier years to really build a sound foundation for mediation work in Oakland. And she's certainly a trainer par excellence in our organization. She was one of the key people who helped put together one of the first training manuals that was used for many years both by Oakland and the Berkeley program. And when the organizations merged and became East Bay Community Mediation and now SEEDS, Barbara has continued to be there every step of the way, continued to put her energy in, continued to challenge us sometimes, ask questions, keep us focused on the very key things that are at the core of what we do and what our work is about.
I think that Barbara Litwin is another one of those community people that organizations like SEEDS absolutely depend upon. They're always there, they're always level-headed, they're always giving, and they always do good work. And I think that Barbara, as a trainer, as a mediator, and as a board member, exemplifies that.